Asthma has been making lives difficult for hundreds of people all over the globe. With the onset of this pandemic, the lives of asthma patients were not only hit hard, but they were forced into a lot of apprehension as well. The second wave has hit India and its people really bad. With this, the management of asthma patients becomes quite pivotal, with their already existing breathing problems being superseded by the virus. Hence, the Indian Medical Association Medical Students Network Uttar Pradesh has organized this very wonderful webinar to draw attention and throw light on the approach towards the COVID-19 patients suffering with asthma. Before we start, we would like to thank Dr. Jayant Sir, Chairman, IMA MSN UP, Dr. Ashok Rai Sir, National Vice President, IMA Headquarters, Dr. M.K. Bansal Sir, State President, IMA UP, and Dr. Rajiv Goyal Sir, Honorable State Secretary, IMA MSN UP, for their constant support. We would also like to welcome Lakhan Sir, the State Convener, Sakshi Ma'am, the State General Secretary, and Megha Ma'am, the National Council Member. We would also like to extend a welcome to the coordinators of this event, Vibhor Gupta and Arjit Bansal, Joint Secretary, IMA MSN UP, and Oris Katyar, the social media and technical team member. Now, I would like to take this privilege to introduce you to the guest, Dr. Rishikesh Meena, and I would like my co-coordinator, Shivam Khurana, to take up this opportunity. Shivam, can you please go ahead?
Unmute yourself, Shivam.
Shivam, you're on mute. You need to unmute.
Am I audible? Yeah. I would also like to welcome Dr. Karan Juneja Sir, IMA JDN National Secretary. Good evening, everyone. Today, I, Shivam Khurana, Zonal Coordinator of IMA MSN UP and the co-moderator of this webinar, would like to introduce you all to our guest, Dr. Rishikesh Meena Sir. Sir is one of the leading and probably the best upcoming pulmonologists of our country. He is currently working with AIIMS Bhopal, which is indeed a highly acclaimed and prestigious medical college of India. Sir completed his MBBS as well as post-graduation from the Institute of Medical Science, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. As we all know, that our country is currently fighting from the second wave of COVID-19, which has exhausted all of us to the core, physically, mentally, emotionally. In the middle of this pandemic, we have many unsung warriors, or I should say heroes, working day and night in multiple shifts to get us through this catastrophe. And today, it is a proud honor for me to introduce you all to one such COVID warrior. Over to you, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. And I would like thanks to all of you guys and IMA fraternity. Myself, Dr. Rishikesh Meena, and currently I'm working as a senior resident in AIIMS Bhopal. And this is a very good day, and it would like to World Asthma Day, right? Every year, World Asthma Day organized by GINA, Global Initiative for Asthma, which is a organized by WHO. We're collaborating a organization, and every year they introduce a theme on the day of World Asthma Day. And also this year as usually in previous year. This year they introduce a theme on the day of World Asthma Day. This year the theme is uncovering asthma misconceptions. Uncovering asthma misconceptions. Actually, in people's, in community, in country, there are many misconceptions in regarding asthma. Like asthma is a childhood disease, right? Like asthma is infectious disease. Like asthma sufferers. That means the asthmatic patients should not exercise, and asthma is only controllable at or off on high steroid dosage. These misconceptions are generally produced in every person or every asthmatic patients, and in our population and in every worldwide, not in our country, worldwide these misconceptions are very popular. And the truth is, as such, like asthma is a childhood disease, but it is not truth. Because asthma, जैसे हम अपने एक कम्युनिटी में देखते हैं, अपने आसपास लोगों में देखते हैं कि ऐसा नहीं है कि अस्थमा एक चाइल्डहुड डिजीज है. अस्थमा एडल्ट ऑनसेट भी हो सकता है, चाइल्डहुड अस्थमा भी हो सकता है, राइट? तो एक ये ट्रूथ है कि अस्थमा एक चाइल्डहुड डिजीज नहीं है. सेकेंड थिंग्स, अस्थमा इज infectious. This is also misconception because asthma is exacerbated due to any infection. It could be due to viral, it could be due to bacterial, and other factors like dust allergy, some pollen grains, different type की allergies, like it could be fruits, grains, right? Second thing, asthma is only controllable with a high dose of steroid. It is also a misconception because high dose of steroid is not a treatment of all time for asthmatic patient. Asthma can controllable with low dose of steroid, and some avoiding factors like your environmental factors every patient should face in their community, their environment. तो एक तो ये चीज हमको समझना होगा एंड समझाना भी होगा. जैसे हमारे पास में पेशेंट प्रेजेंट करते हैं ओपीडी में, इंडोर आउटडोर, तो ये चीज कहीं कहीं हमको डिलीवर करना होगा कि ये चीजें हैं जो आप सोचते हो वो चीज ठीक नहीं है, कि अस्थमा क्या है, उसको कैसे ट्रीट कर सकते हैं, राइट? तो बेसिकली कंट्री में कई जगह पर काफी टाइम्स एक माल प्रैक्टिस भी होती है, राइट? लैक ऑफ नॉलेज एंड प्रॉपर गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो करना अकॉर्डिंग टू जीना, जो कि पर ईयर एक गाइडलाइन है जिसको कहीं न कहीं रिवाइज किया जाता है, एंड पर ईयर जीना गाइडलाइन जो रिवाइज की जाती है उस अकॉर्डिंग चलना कहीं न कहीं ज़्यादा बेटर है. एविडेंस बेस्ड जो गाइडलाइंस है जीना, बेसिकली वो ही फॉलो करना पेशेंट के लिए काफ़ी बेटर होता है. अभी जिस तरीके से सेकेंड वेव है कोविड का, तो almost all physicians as a doctor initially they are thinking कि यार अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट्स है, कहीं न कहीं यूआर अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन पहले से पेशेंट को होता है। तो ये सब पहले यही सोचा जा रहा था कि कहीं न कहीं एक पेशेंट जो अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट है लाइक एंड अस्थमा एंड अदर एयरवे डिजीज लाइक सीओपीडी और these type of patient are more prone to COVID-19, राइट। लॉजिकली हम सोचे कि हाँ यार हो सकता है कि पेशेंट को पहले से कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो शायद एक कोविड-19 के लिए मोर प्रोन होगा। बट रिसेंट स्टडीज, एविडेंस बेस्ड स्टडीज ये है कि एक्चुअली में जो अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट होता है वो कहीं ना कहीं ऑन स्टीरॉयड, इनहेल्ड स्टीरॉइड्स ऑलरेडी पेशेंट यूज कर रहा होता है, तो कहीं न कहीं अब जो ट्रीटमेंट प्लान है अस्थमा का वो एक प्रोटेक्टिव एज ए प्रोटेक्टिव रोल वो हमारे सामने कहीं न कहीं आया है। काफ़ी स्टडीज है जो भी एविडेंस बेस्ड, उन्होंने ये भी प्रूव किया कि ये कैसे प्रोटेक्टिव एज ए प्रोटेक्टिव रोल प्रूव हुई है। थोड़ा ब्रीफ एंड नेक्स्ट one by one any confusion related to treatment and association with asthma and COVID-19, you can ask one by one.
Yes, sir. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta, sir, convener of IMMS and UP, to please speak on this topic. Sir, over to you.
Okay, first of all, on the behalf of IMA Medical Student Network, I welcome all the participants who have joined today's webinar. And considering the ongoing scenario of COVID-19 pandemic and alongside asthma comorbidity, this can be fatal as we think of. So that's why we thought of putting this webinar and conduct this session so that we can all get benefit and learn some basics. So let's grab some basics on how to approach COVID-19 patient with history of asthma. Also, I welcome here Dr. Karan Juneja, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining, and all the UP team for joining and executing this webinar. And thank you, sir, for giving the precious time. Okay, over to you, Shivam.
So the first question from the audience would be, sir, are people with asthma at higher rate of contracting the virus? Like at higher risk? Are they at higher risk for contracting it?
No, actually, Ikshita, as such, there is no evidence regarding higher prevalence COVID-19 asthmatic patient. Some studies reveal that asthmatic patients are less prone to COVID-19 because of there is many reasons behind this. एक तो ये कि अस्थमेटिक जो पेशेंट है वो ऑलरेडी कहीं कहीं अवेयर है पहले से कि यार मुझे ऑलरेडी डिजीज है तो शायद मुझे ज़्यादा अवेयर रहना चाहिए। वो ऑलरेडी यूज अपना प्रॉपर मास्क यूज कर रहा है, प्रॉपर सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन कर रहा है। सेकेंड थिंग्स, कुछ पेशेंट्स होते हैं जो इंटरमिटेंटली मेडिकेशंस लेते हैं, राइट, तो सिर्फ कोविड-19 की डर की वजह से वो लोग भी अपना रेगुलर ट्रीटमेंट लेने लगे हैं। तो जो फर्दर स्टडीज जो आई है अभी उनमें यही हुआ है कि जो अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट है वो कहीं न कहीं अदर जो कोमॉर्बिड पेशेंट है लाइक हाइपरटेंसिव, डायबिटिक, उनसे लेस प्रोन है जो कि कोविड-19 से इन्फेक्ट हुए हैं।
Very well said, sir.
And
Thank you, sir. Awesome.
some other factor ये है कि जो अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट होते हैं वो ऑलरेडी इनहेल्ड स्टेरॉइड्स पर होते हैं एंड वी ऑल आर वेरी नोन अबाउट पैथोफिजियोलॉजी ऑफ कोविड-19 कि देयर इज ए रिसेप्टर ACE2, आई थिंक आप लोग तो अच्छे से जानते ही होंगे और खासकर जो फार्मा प्रॉप्स है, राइट। तो उसका भी इनहेल्ड कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड से जो ACE2 रिसेप्टर्स का ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है वो कहीं न कहीं रिड्यूस रहता है इन अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट ड्यू टू इनहेल्ड कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड्स। एंड ACE2 रिसेप्टर्स का एक लो एक्सप्रेशन लेवल भी कहीं न कहीं एक प्रोटेक्टिव है in asthmatic patient in view of COVID-19 infection. And other some inflammatory process like secondary inflammations, these biological process are also protective in asthmatic patient in view of COVID-19. And now recently around 1 month we are going to start inhaled corticosteroid in COVID-19 patient whenever patient initially comes in mild to moderate disease in view of cough and something like fever. So inhaled corticosteroids are helpful in COVID-19 patient as well as dose of steroid जो कि asthmatic patient कहीं न कहीं already in view of exacerbations patient already taking inhaled corticosteroid and some patient are taking oral steroids. These both are also protective in COVID-19 infection in asthmatic patients.
Thank you, sir, for explaining this. I would also like to welcome Garima ma'am from IMA MSN national team. My next question is, sir, can infection with coronavirus also precipitate an acute attack of asthma?
Yeah, absolutely right. It can happen, and initially I speak every infection. It could be viral, it could be bacterial. Precipitates a acute exacerbation of asthma and also COVID-19. When disease is going in uncontrolled way, moderate to severe, precipitate acute exacerbation of asthma. But the mainstay of our treatment part, oral steroid, IV steroid in view of COVID-19 also protect the acute exacerbation or ongoing acute exacerbation of asthma. It's very helping.
Thank you, sir. So the next question, before I take up the next question, I'd like to tell the audience that they can also put up their questions or anything that they would like to clarify down in the chat box, and our team will take it up from there. So continuing with the question and answers. So the next question would be, when should an asthmatic know that it is time to seek immediate medical attention and that the illness can no longer be managed at home?
Actually, मैं AIIMS Delhi, AIIMS Bhopal, or every regional institute, they release their guidelines about COVID-19 कि कब हमको पेशेंट को एक होम आइसोलेशन से हॉस्पिटल की ओर मूव करना चाहिए, राइट? If patient having only mild disease, mild symptoms, like only patient having cough, patient having mild grade fever, we can manage at home. And continuous, we should monitoring in view of SpO2 saturation and breathing difficulty. If patient getting breathing difficulty or tachypnea, respiratory rate more than 24, more than 25, more than 30, and patient getting desaturate, like less than 94 or 95, we should move in these scenario, we should move towards the hospital. And as such, at home isolation, there is no medication except symptomatic treatment, because we are facing many treatment protocol from outside, aggressive treatment protocol. These are not good for any home isolate or mild disease COVID-19 patient. चाहे वो asthmatic patient हो या non-asthmatic हो, non-asthmatic या any without comorbidity and with comorbidity, because every patient, I think, in this scenario, their primary disease, for their primary disease, they already took medications, so there is no need of any aggressive treatment.
So next question is, how does this double mutant Indian strain pose as a risk for asthmatics in terms of comorbidities, and is there any treatment protocol risk?
Shivam, actually, there is no data, there is no study, and there is no evidence regarding this, because we are follow evidence-based studies, so we can't any comment on this. But I think there is no change in treatment protocol in asthmatic patient or asthma with COVID-19 patient, because due to COVID-19 disease, there is no changes in treatment protocol for asthmatic patient.
Thank you, sir, for answering that question. So the next question is that during the treatment for COVID, if a patient is already undergoing COVID treatment, should he continue taking his asthma medications or not?
Yeah, absolutely. But in case of moderate to severe disease, right, because asthmatic patients are taking the mainstay of treatment is inhaler, right? So in during mild to moderate disease, they should take, and they are taking their inhalers. But in case of severe disease, they can't take. So we deliver a nebulizer by nebulization, but treatment is still going on. Even in ventilated patient who's on ventilator, we also nebulize by ventilator tubing connector nebulizer. So treatment is definitely, it should be going on during COVID-19 disease course.
So my next question is that what are the guidelines of GINA 2020? If you can tell us in brief, like in easy language, like what should we know about it?
Shivam, it is very difficult and very large guidelines, but in a summary, according to GINA guideline, there is 5-6 steps for treatment of asthmatic patients. How is the disease course, disease severity? Treatment depend on disease severity, which is identified by pulmonary function test, identify airway obstruction, level of airway obstructions, and the different types of other factors like patient's history, because asthmatic patients, around 50 to 60% of asthmatic patients having allergic rhinitis, and around 50% patient of allergic rhinitis having bronchial asthma. So treatment plan should be regarding their disease status and disease severity. And basically, your mainstay of treatment is steroid in form of oral steroid, inhaled steroid, and LABA, SABA, right? So every patient having different protocol for treatment of asthma.
Thank you, sir, for answering that question. So this next question from the audience is, what is the significance of remdesivir in an asthmatic patient with COVID infection?
Actually, remdesivir, some studies proven the efficacy of remdesivir, not such different from non-asthmatic patient and asthmatic patients. The role of remdesivir in asthmatic and non-asthmatic patient is almost same, and present AIMS Delhi guidelines. They remove remdesivir in their protocol, treatment protocol, and some other medical colleges and states remove remdesivir from their protocol. But still some studies having proved the efficacy of remdesivir in COVID-19 patients. So we can use or not.
Yes, sir. One question is coming constantly in a chat. Like, can vaccination of COVID in asthmatic patient may lead to hypersensitivity response? I think this is one of the hot topic currently going on.
As some patients, some data are available on regarding this topic, but the vaccination guidelines on COVID-19 patient or post-COVID and other comorbid like tuberculosis, asthma, COPD, there should be mention vaccination in all these conditions, and there is no particular contraindications, but like in tuberculosis, if patient having active disease, so in case of active disease, I think we should avoid during intensive phase of ATT course and in case of asthmatics, very less population or very less asthmatic patients having hypersensitivity reactions against COVID-19 vaccine.
Thank you, sir. So the next question would be, what are the complications that asthmatic people can face due to COVID infection?
I think complications is same in all patients. No exactly particular complications in asthmatic patients.
Sir, so the next question would be, sir, how will COVID affect the overall prognosis of an asthmatic patient?
Actually, prognosis is depend on patient clinical condition, not in view of asthmatic patients. Many factors like patient's age, patient's other clinical conditions, comorbidity like hypertension, diabetes, asthma is already included, COPD, interstitial lung disease. So overall prognosis is defined by patient clinical profile. As such, in asthmatic patient, there is no defined poor prognosis or good prognosis with COVID-19 infection.
Thank you, sir, for that answer. So the next question would be, what symptoms should a patient with asthma look for, especially when they are on mild steroids and symptoms are suppressed due to steroids?
Yeah, actually, in asthmatic patients, some symptoms like cough and breathing difficulty is also a symptoms of asthmatic patients during exacerbation due to any reason. And in COVID-19, also having cough and fever and breathing difficulty. But if patient having stable asthma and is on regular treatment and patient face recent symptoms like increase in view of cough and getting recently fever for 3-4 days, 5 days, 10 days, and breathing difficulty in proportion to asthmatic symptoms which are facing the patient previously. So then in this scenario, the patient should be looked in view of COVID-19 infection. If patient having any contact history, any endemic zone or endemic area, after that patient getting these symptoms in view of previous symptoms, she should include the COVID-19 and use proper precautions and getting further in view of investigation like X-ray and RT-PCR.
Okay, so the next question would be, sir, an asthmatic patient who got first dose of Covaxin, then got COVID infection and recovered, should they go for a second dose or not?
Yeah, there is many studies and many guidelines. He should took second dose.
Okay, sir.
But with all vaccines like Covaxins, Covishield, and recently launched Sputnik V vaccines, right? Every vaccines have infection after vaccination. And before sometimes they release data regarding both vaccine, Covaxins and Covishields. Because we all are known the vaccine having killed virus or antigens, right? So it could be infect the patient.
Thank you, sir. So the next question would be, sir, are asthma medications dangerous and addictive?
Sorry?
Sir, are asthma medications dangerous and addictive?
No, as such, not. This is also a misconception in asthma treatment. Because many patients, we are facing many patients in outdoor. They are telling us, they are told us कि सर मैं यदि इनहेलर लूंगा तो मुझे एडिक्शन हो जाएगा, मुझे इसमें बताया कि नहीं लेना, एडिक्शन हो जाएगा. But one things I can speak and I can tell you everyone कि health is more important than any misconceptions, any myths. So there is nothing like this.
Sure, sir. So the next question would be, after recovery from COVID, how much time will the lungs take to return back to their normal functioning?
Actually, patient in COVID-19 infection, patient getting in radiologically bilateral consolidation, we are seeing, and I think every people read the CT scan reports like septal thickening, GGOs, and consolidation. So patient improving in radiologically almost takes 6 to 8 weeks, and in symptomatically depend on patient's diet, patient's age, patient's wilt, exercise capacity. Some patients are getting completely fit within 15 to 20 days. Some patients are within 1 month, and also depend on viral load. Some patients infected with COVID-19 with low viral load, they all time having low symptoms, very mild disease. So these type of patient having early, yeah, after 10 to 15 days, completely recovered from disease symptoms. So this is very big profile.
So the next question would be, so how can we differentiate between breathlessness that occurs due to asthma and breathlessness that occurs due to COVID?
Sorry, आपका आवाज थोड़ा सा.
Sir, how can we differentiate between breathlessness that occurs due to asthma and breathlessness that occurs due to COVID?
No, as such, there is no tool to differentiate both, because breathing difficulty it can be due to COVID or it can be due to bronchial asthma, but unproportional. Like recently occurred symptoms and getting more severity after taking asthmatic medications. तो वी कैन आइडेंटिफाई दिस कि यार हो सकता है मैं ट्रीटमेंट ले रहा हूँ अस्थमा का, उसके बावजूद भी मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. सेकेंड थिंग्स, द डिसैचुरेशन. asthmatic patient, normal, mild to moderate disease, there is no desaturation. Desaturation occurs in acute exacerbation of asthma. And in breathing, in view of breathing difficulty, asthmatic patient having a huge wheezage, like पेशेंट से हम पूछ से भी है कि छाती में जकड़न या फिर सीटीओ जैसी आवाज आ रही है क्या, तो वो पेशेंट कहीं कहीं यूज टू रहता है अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट अस्थमेटिक सिम्टम्स के साथ में. ए पेशेंट हैविंग लॉन्ग स्टैंडिंग अस्थमा like 5 years, since 10 years. So I think COVID-19 breathing difficulty is unproportional to asthmatic, which can identify by self, patient, and physicians.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, at what SpO2 level should an asthma patient be alarmed? Because the oxygen saturation is already low in asthma patients. So at what level should they rush to a hospital?
First of all, to identify or differentiate the COVID-19 infection in asthmatic patient. If patient declared COVID-19 pneumonia, then we should look for SpO2. If patient having more than 94 or 95, then not to worry, and we can isolate the patient at home. If patient getting desaturation below 91 or 90, then look for hospitalization the patient.
Sure, sir. Sir, the next question is there any specific side effect of the vaccine which is occurring only in asthma patients?
No, I think there is no specific any adverse effect in asthmatic patients due to COVID-19 vaccine? I think you should.
Yes, sir. Sorry. So, what is the impact of COVID-19 virus on people who have dust allergy or any kind of allergy?
No, actually, there is no direct correlation between the dust allergy and COVID-19 infection. The indirect correlation is upper respiratory tract infection, which which is leads to due to allergic infections, and after that patient getting COVID-19 infection. So as such, there is no correlation between these to both scenarios.
Okay, sir. So, the next question is, what is the role of colchicine in preventing post-COVID fibrosis? Sir, I'll repeat. The role of colchicine in preventing post-COVID fibrosis.
There is.
So, go ahead, sir.
Actually, there is no medication. As such, there is no medications which having anti-fibrotic role, right? So different medicines are using as a anti-fibrotic agent in present scenario like nintedanib, but as such there is no so much role regarding anti-fibrotic, because most of patient having no residual fibrosis after COVID-19 infection, but some group of population, some number of populations having post COVID-19 fibrosis, and in this type of patient, the clinicians recommended the anti-fibrotic agents like nintedanib and other agents.
Indeed, a very interesting webinar. With this, we would like to end this event, and I hope that we have covered all the aspects of this topic. I would like to thank Dr. Rishikesh Meena sir on behalf of entire IMA-MSN UP team and extend our best wishes to him for his future endeavors. And we hope we overcome this pandemic soon enough. I would also like to thank all the respected dignitaries present and everyone else attending this webinar. Dr. Karan Juneja sir, Garima ma'am, Lakhan sir, Sakshi ma'am, Megha ma'am, and all other coordinators of this event. And yes, my team of IMA MSN UP. Please wear your mask properly, sanitize your hands, stay safe. Thank you. Also, I would request everyone that please fill up the feedback form provided in the chat box. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to thanks to everyone, and I think जैसा कि कल गवर्नमेंट ने गाइडलाइंस रिलीज की है कि एवरी MBBS स्टूडेंट, एवरी इंटर्न्स, एवरी JRs, SRs सबको कहीं न कहीं इस पैंडेमिक में कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहिए, और एटलीस्ट मैं ये नहीं कहता कि ट्रीटमेंट ही आप करो, एक पॉपुलेशन में अवेयरनेस भी द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ दिस पैंडेमिक to prevent this pandemic outbreaks, second waves, because most of places in peripheries, most of peoples are not wearing masks. They are not aware about this pandemic, because in this present time our country is facing very crisis in view of resources, in view of doctors, in view of healthcare workers. So I would like to say IMA fraternity to all of you guys, please aware the people, aware the community, and aware the all of you near the pupils, and proper advise the wearing mask, use social distancing, hand sanitizers, and avoid the unnecessary outings. So hope so आप सब लोग इस वर्क को कहीं न कहीं एक अच्छे लेवल पे करोगे, बिकॉज मैं यहाँ देखता हूँ एमपी में बेसिकली मेरा काफी लोगों से यहाँ पे कांटेक्ट है कि वो कहीं न कहीं काफी अच्छा वर्क कर रहे हैं एज ए स्टूडेंट. सो बेस्ट लक and good luck and stay safe.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really inspiring, and I hope this really inspired many people to come forth and take up the responsibility. I would now like to call upon Arjit Bansal, our coordinator, to take over.
Thank you, Akshata. Thank you so much, Rishikesh sir, for such a knowledgeable event, and you have answered all the questions with all the satisfactory levels we can expect. And I would like to take the forum to thank our organizers, Lakhan sir, Sakshi ma'am, and our back supporters. I should mention Dr. Karan sir, Dr. Garima ma'am, for being with us with all the possible efforts and support. I would like to thank our honorable moderators, Ikshita and Shivam. Thank you so much. And Lakhan sir, would you like to take from here?
Hello. Yeah, it was a wonderful session. Hope all of you have enjoyed. Thank you so much, sir, for giving the time and taking out the time for us and giving so much of information to us. Thank you so much, sir. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Wear masks, maintain proper social distancing, and avoid going out. Thank you. Yeah, Ajit.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone, just please make sure that you all fill in the feedback form for the certificates. Please don't leave without filling the feedback form. Thank you.
Arjit, just again send the feedback form in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, sir.